Hi, welcome to my second video in my AP Literature Their Eyes Were Watching God series. Hopefully this is my last video in the whole AP Lit thing. I don't want to do this again. So today I'm going to be discussing the title of Their Eyes Were Watching God and deconstructing the meaning of the title as it is revealed in the scene on page 196. And the scene is: the wind came back with triple fury and put out the light for the last time. They sat in company with the others in other shanties, their eyes straining against crude walls and their souls asking if he meant to measure their puny might against his. They seemed to be staring at the dark, but their eyes were watching God. So, in this video I'm going to answer 3 questions. Question 1, of all the scenes, why do I think Hurston chooses her title from this scene in particular? 2, what have the characters learned about the power of God throughout the story? And 3, how do the external forces like racism, social class, and the gossip of the porch sitters compare to the power of the storm? So, I'll start off with question 1. I think that from all the scenes in the story, Hurston chooses this one for her title in particular because it seems that the characters, especially Jamie in particular, have always been watching God or some other external force looking for answers to life's problems. Even from the beginning, especially with Janie's love life, when she first has her sexual awakening, she goes and looks around herself at all the other forces of nature around her and is looking for answers to her questions. And in the book, the quote actually says, after a while she got up from where she was and went over to the little garden field entire. She was seeking confirmation of the voice and vision, and everywhere she found and acknowledged answers. A personal answer for all other creations except herself. She felt an answer seeking her, but where, when, how? So pretty much she isn't asking a religious deity so much for answers. She is trying to find an answer in the things that she sees around her, and that can be likened akin to looking up to God or another religious deity for answers to life's problems. So, question 2. What have the characters learned about the power of God throughout the story? I think that the characters have learned that in Hurston's point of view, thinking about God, how she writes the story, that God is an external force and they can't control what God will decide, and they can look to God for answers that they need answers to. So, especially during the storm, they're all at one point in time sitting and watching at the door, just waiting to see what happens. And it said, let me find it. It says, they huddled closer and stared at the door. They just didn't use another part of their bodies, and they didn't look at anything but the door. The time was past for asking the white folks what to look for through that door. 6 eyes were questioning God. So I think that I think that the characters have learned that they can look to this God for all things that they need help with, and that this God has power over wind, earth, and sea and their lives. And question 3, how do the external forces like racism, social class, and the gossip of the porch sitters compare to the power of the storm? I think this is my favorite question. So, I think I'm going to focus on racism and the porch sitters because I feel that those are the most important things to compare to the power of the storm. So to start with the porch sitters, when you first start reading the story, you see Janie walking back into town after she has gone away from the place where Tea Cake died, and you see all of the people staring at her and pretty much gawking and laughing behind her back and commenting on how could she leave Joe and things like that. And it says, so it says, they, being the porch sitters, became lords of sounds and lesser things. They passed nations through their mouths. They sat in judgment. Seeing the woman as she was made them remember the envy they had stored up from other rhymes. So they chewed up the back parts of their minds and swallowed with relish. They made burning statements with questions and killing tools out of laughs. It was mass cruelty, a mood come alive. Words walking without masters, walking together like harmony in a song. And I think that is a very important quote to compare to The Power of the Storm, because you can see how when the people see Janie and they begin to judge her, they all come together basically like this storm of judgment and hatred towards Janie, and especially the words walking especially the words walking without masters, walking together like harmony, or well, oops. Okay, so it was mass cruelty, a mood come alive, and the words walking without masters, walking together like harmony in a song. They're all coming together kind of like how the wind and the water and the thunder of the storm all can come together kind of like a song, and just this power that both the storm and the judgment of the people sitting on the porch have, like, over Janie, even though Janie tries to ignore the judgment of the people sitting on the porch, it's still there. She can't really completely ignore it. I mean, she goes and talks to her friend Phoebe about it, so it's not really a total ignorance. And then racism, yeah. So the scene that I would take to compare the storm to racism is when Tea Cake and Janie first get to a place where they can rest after the storm, after Tea Cake has been bitten by the rabid dog, and Tea Cake goes out and gets pulled away for work burying graves by these two white men who pretty much treat him like complete trash, and he then later says that white men only trust the black people that they know, and they think that they don't need to trust any more than those people that they know. And so it's another thing like this power of the white man over the black man, and how Tea Cake knows that even though he has this wealth that has come to him from Janie, he's still not as powerful as the white man, or he is still not as powerful as the storm in comparison to how he was pretty much helpless once the storm began, and he just had to go with the flow and try to keep him and Janie out of the storm and into safety. And I think that was the last question. I'm good. Alright, that's it. Bye.